Mr. President and Fellows, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Phillipa Thorpe, who's from the, as you see, the North Hertfordshire branch, is the chair of that branch of the Multiple Sclerosis Society, which is a very well-known charity. But before I hand the floor over to her, I'd like to give you one very interesting fact about multiple sclerosis. As you all know, I studied and qualified in South Africa, but until I came to this country in 1955, I had never seen a case of multiple sclerosis. It is almost unknown in South Africa. Why that is, I don't know. Should perhaps give a clue to what the cause of the condition is. We don't know what the cause is as yet. Anyway, I hand over the floor to Philip.
You got the heat.
Turn on. Come on. Hello, hello, hello.
Sorry about that. I don't know what's wrong.
Shall I shout?
Yes.
I've got quite a big mouth.
Oh.
Some people say.
You've got to walk down in the middle, it might be.
Hello, hello. Yeah, it's a cordless one. Just to let you know that, just to pick up on what Michael said, they believe the cause is climate that causes multiple sclerosis. So, my family come from Jamaica and Portugal, and it's quite rare in those places as well. Where it's said,
hello. Hello, 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 hello. That's okay. Can you all hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
Can you hear me at the back?
Yeah.
So they believe the cause is climate. So the colder climates, the more people have MS. So even in England, the UK, the further north you go, the more cases there are of people diagnosed with MS. Let me just backtrack slightly. My name, as Michael said, is Phillipa Thorpe, and I'm the chair of the North Hart branch of the MS Society. And the MS Society has been going for 60 years, just over 60 years. So we're the oldest one. There's another MS Society called the MS Trust, but they're nothing to do with us. So the only connection is that people have MS, same as what we do. And we cover we have branches all over the whole of England. The further north you go, the more people you'll find with MS. And another fact is more ladies, more females are diagnosed with MS than men. That cause is not known. And so that's why there's always research going on to find out why these things are happening. 60 years ago, not many people heard about MS, but people were still suffering from this illness. But today we know a little bit more about it, but still there is no known cure for multiple sclerosis. It is said that there's at least 50 people, suggested that there's 50 people a week are diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in the UK. Now that is amazingly high. Many people are diagnosed, suffer in silence. It's one of those illnesses, sometimes people can't see it on you. But these people, some people still go to work for as long as they can, until they're no longer to go to work. Multiple sclerosis is different in everyone. A neurologist once said to me, he's been working with multiple sclerosis for 35 years, over 35 years, and not one person is the same. So again, that makes it more difficult, doesn't it, to find a cure, because everyone's so different. There are some things in multiple sclerosis that are the same. But multiple sclerosis is said to be Britain's #1 neurological disease. Some call it a disorder. Many call it an inconvenience. Multiple sclerosis is when your central nervous system is attacked. Now, if you know your central nervous system is from your brain all the way down to your spinal cord. So if you think about it, that affects every part of your body, everything, thinking, moving, decision making, absolutely everything is affected because it's your central nervous system. And depending on where the scarring is, and the scarring is caused when your own immune system that's meant to protect you and fight off, ward off illnesses and disease, attack, like the myelin sheath. The myelin sheath is what covers the central nervous system. And so I don't get too technical, I've got an electrical cord to kind of show you what I mean by it. If you imagine an electrical cord, you've got the white covering, and then you've got all the wires inside. I'm not an electrician, I just call them wires. But I believe they're brown, blue, yellow, green, something like that. And then you've got the white cord over it, haven't you, covering it. Now, if you have a cord where you've got splits in it, you would think that's damaged. You would think, oh, that's no good. In fact, that'd be quite serious, wouldn't you? So that's what happens. And if you think about this cord is what's going through your body. And as I pass it round, you can see where I've cut gaps. And I've cut parts out like that. And that's like, that is to show what happens in multiple sclerosis. When these areas are attacked, it cuts away the area and they're left unguarded. Now there's something called remyelination. I'll probably say that completely wrong, Dr. Michael will correct me. And it's when a kind of a temporary covering goes on it. So I've signified that by putting an elastic sellotape on that. So I'm going to show that around. But although that's covered by the sellotape, that's still a weakness, and you can still get further attacks in the same area. So that then weakens that area. So that's why you'll see many people, when they get an attack, you can be paralysed for a few weeks. Some people it's months, some people a few years, and some people never actually recover. So that's when you'll see the deterioration in them. So if I pass that around, just so you can see that, and you'll see where I've cut away. So then those areas are now subject to anything that's going around you can get. And sometimes some of these causes are what stops people from being able to function anymore. So your brain may want to function, but your body it just can't do it anymore. Multiple sclerosis can attack, the most common ages are from 30 upwards. But in fact, we do see cases much younger, from the ages of 15 and even younger. And there's 3 different types of multiple sclerosis. The 2 common ones are, sorry, my brain kind of stopped, so I'm just trying to catch up with my mouth. It's like a progressive, and progressive is where they'll just deteriorate, and you'll see them just deteriorate. And some of these are faster, and some are slower. Some you can get an attack 1 year and be perfectly all right, and then get another attack, and then you move into the progressive. One of the most common ones is relapse remittance, and that's where people have different kind of relapses. So you might go to get up and you're paralysed and you can't move. That's what that one's all about. So what I just wanted to demonstrate is if I have a guinea pig, someone who I can just give an example. You're going to have to put on a pair of rubber gloves.
Marigolds.
Yeah, definitely marigolds. I don't know, they might be quite small.
Oh, right.
Can you help me? I just realised they're small, they're probably shoot a lady's hand. Could you put them on for me, please?
That's a crafting way of you out of the kitchen.
That's right, yeah.
I didn't tell you, sorry. You're going to have to go out the back and do some washing up now, Roger. A bit tired. Oh, sorry. Right, I'm just going to set this up to show, just kind of give an example sometimes.
Look like a traffic wall.
I know. been using them, so they're not working for me now. Okay, so it's Christian, isn't it? Yeah. Right, so this is just to demonstrate. There's different ways you can demonstrate what a person with MS goes through, but this is some of the things they go through. Now, the rubber gloves are to signify the loss of touch. Sensitivity, you tend not to be able to feel things. And I've got an example of it. These, if you feel that, they've got like little spikes and things on them. Little spikes on them. Now, can you feel that? They've got like little spikes on them. It numbs the feeling. So something even a sensitive of that, she's not able to feel the touch of that. And now the weights on the arm are to signify just how hard it is to do things. And what happens with someone with MS, you live with this 24/7. And these aren't that heavy, but if you imagine wearing that 24/7, and you've got that on your legs, up your arms, it could be, sorry, would you mind if I touch you? No, so far. All around your back, it feels like you're carrying a sack of potato, but that's on each arm. And that's what that, yeah. So after a while, just even doing the simplest thing, so that's why you find a lot of people tripping, stumbling, constantly all the time. So that's what that was to signify. Thank you very much. It was very quick. Carry on, thank you. At the MS Society North Harts, we're one of the largest branches, if not the largest branch. We cover the North Hertfordshire area, from Stevenage all the way up and all the little villages in between that. We have one of the largest membership. You don't have to become a member, but the membership is £5 if people want to do that. You don't have to have MS, like I said, but sometimes it's good to get the information. And we offer information for people, social evenings. I think, imagine being told you've got multiple sclerosis. It's the sudden shock. Because most people, when they think of multiple sclerosis, they think of a wheelchair. And it's not always the case. So we offer social evenings, someone you can just talk to, come together, luncheon parties. It's one of the most active ones. In fact, we have a lot of fun times we have there. So that's what we offer. Everything we do, we're connected to National Centre, which is located in Edgware. So every information that we have so many leaflets and pamphlets galore, you can get them all for free, which really helps people. We're always looking for volunteers. We have so many people that just volunteer at a time. I am in fact a volunteer. I joined the M&S Society in 2012 as a volunteer, and before I know it, I ended up as chair. Not quite sure how that happened, but that's what it was. I missed the meeting, and before I knew it, I was chair.
Join the club.
So most of my time is taken up giving presentations, giving talks, going into schools, colleges, wherever I can to spread information. This is not a disease just for one kind of person, it's for everyone. It's everyone that can be affected by this. And I just want to end by saying that in 2004, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. The first time I was diagnosed, I just thought I trapped a nerve in my arm and my leg because I kept getting a numb leg. And that's as simple as that. And then I noticed there was something going on with my eyes. And at the time, I was an accountant. That was my job as an accountant, bookkeeper. And I started having trouble doing my work. And to speed that up, really, I went to the Royal Free. There was people on the ward with me, and they all had different stages of multiple sclerosis, but I still didn't realise that's what they said I had. I really thought that by then I had a brain tumour because of all the things that were happening to me. To cut a long story short, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and I have relapse remittance. So what happens is I have periods of good health and periods of very bad health, times of paralysis where I can't move at all. And so people come in and help me, like family and friends. I have a good network of friends around me, and they come in and help me. You can't get dressed, you just can't move, you can't do anything. The only thing you can do is move your mouth. So that's why I continue to talk about this. There's never anything wrong with my mouth. I had to give up my job as an accountant. It was just myself and another person working in the department.
And for those of you who are accountants in here, you know you can't have an accountant who can't see the work. It keeps making mistakes. So I had to give up that job. So I've been unemployed, I say, but keeping busy for just a year in February. So it's still a new thing that I'm doing, but I'm keeping busy and looking for new avenues and new opportunities. Thank you so much.
Any fellow got any questions they wish to? Yes, Dennis.
I know where I've heard it from, saying that the older you are when you get MS, it's not as serious as if you get it at a young age. Now, have I heard it wrong, or
What's your name?
Dennis?
Dennis, you heard it wrong.
Oh, that's it.
Put that
As usual.
It doesn't matter whenever you get it, because there's different types of multiple sclerosis. The type I've got will eventually go into progressive, so they say. Progressive being that you'll lose all, be able to use your limbs, legs, anything like that, and be totally dependent on our house care. But whenever you get it,
You've got it.
yeah, you've got it. There's no healing, no cure for it yet.
Yes, Jim.
I understand that you say there is no cure, but once you are diagnosed with it, is there anything that you can do to change your lifestyle, change your diet or whatever, to slow down the progression? Have they learned anything to help?
The only thing you're told when you get it is to rest, cut down work. So I actually started to go part-time, really. Because you get fatigue. Fatigue is one of the biggest things with multiple sclerosis.
If you go to the sun, what if you go to the warmer weather? Would that slow it down?
The heat,
Mm-hmm.
in fact, this is why it's just so cruel, because it's the colder climates that we're told that makes it worse, which it does. So in the winter, my heating's on all the time, and I have my own little summertime in my apartment, which annoys everyone. But when you go in the sun too much, it actually makes your symptoms worse. That's why it's so cruel. So you wobble more, you're more shaky. So like driving here from Hitchin, I have my AC on, air conditioning on. Just because as soon as you get hot, it's like you'll get floppy.
Yeah.
So that's why it makes it so cruel.
Thank you.
Your charity provides support to the people and to their families. Who is actually doing the research into MS?
There's lots of teams of doctors and researchers. If you go on our website, mssociety.org.uk, and I've got some leaflets there. It shows you all the research that they're doing. They're constantly looking at medication and things that you can take. There's lots of researchers and scientists doing it all the time. But each one of us, the medication we're given are the same. But I've kind of said that I prefer when I'm in a relapse not to take anything, because I don't believe it's actually making things better. What it does, it kind of puts a plaster over, just puts a plaster over the effect of it really. So that's just something I've chosen to do. But what that means is that it takes longer for you to get through a relapse. So instead of being weeks, it can be months to get over a relapse really. But there's constantly research, and there's a magazine that comes out when you're a member on the MS Society each month showing you all the different research and medication that's out there.
Subhash.
Thank you, Mr. President. Well, I come from India and I have seen few cases there as well. No doubt it's not that common as it is we see here. Perhaps it's not diagnosed as early as diagnosed here. My first case which I saw was in 1967 when I was working in hospital, and this was a chef who came, and he used to come on the bike to his work, and he said, when I was going on the road, I could not see anything coming from the right side. And it was not easy to diagnose. He was referred from one place to another. Eventually it was diagnosed in Manchester Royal Infirmary, where they said it could be multiple sclerosis. Not they said it is multiple sclerosis, but it was a long time ago. Now it's more easily diagnosed, though still there are cases which have been misdiagnosed as well. One of my patients was misdiagnosed, and she was busted into tears, but she was told that she's got multiple sclerosis, but it wasn't. She's still my patient for the last 10 years, and
Yeah.
she's perfectly fine.
Mm.
So I'm just saying it can be, but it's a hard to diagnose also. It's not that
Yeah.
just by brain scan or lumbar puncture you can diagnose it. It's hard to diagnose.
Yeah.
It is. In the beginning, the doctors never like to say straight away.
No.
Even though they do the MRI and they do lumbar puncture and all these other things, they're still quite reluctant to say that it's multiple sclerosis. It actually took a few years, even though Royal Free told me. For then the doctor said, well, you know, it may not be, it could be, but numerous MRIs later, it's multiple sclerosis. And yes, misdiagnosis is so common. So common.
When you get a relapse, does it happen straight away, or does it take a matter of time before it progresses?
I get no warning at
So if you're
all.
driving along,
No, not
Does
like
that
that. Yeah, I could go to my bed at night and wake up in the morning not being able to move. Or recently I went on holiday to America, and when I got there I was fine. I've got wheelchair assist because I can't walk very far. I know I look good, and I really like it. And that's one of my challenges as well, because people always think, well, you just park there, you're fine, you're walking. But I can walk, and then my leg, I don't know what kind of schools you went to, but at the school I went to, people used to go around and give you a dead leg. You all went to very good schools, probably, but the school I went to, but it kind of feels like that, where your leg just goes. So that happened when I got on holiday to America. I was there for 4 weeks, and for 3 weeks, my left side was paralysed. It's very unpredictable, very unpredictable.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank
you.
Just one comment I would like to make, that occasionally a severe case of multiple sclerosis goes into complete remission. Complete. They seem to recover completely. And that has led to blind abbeys, people saying it's a diet or some other thing. That is not the case. Nobody knows why this happened. We still don't know the cause, and we still don't know. I quite agree that treatment in general is useless. There is no treatment that seems to do anything positive at all.
Jerry would like to give a vote of thanks.
Yes, well, thank you very much indeed, Phillipa, for marvellous talk. I now know everything I need to know about multiple sclerosis, I think, because I knew nothing before I came to this room today. I have to admit. And it was really good, and if you're wondering why someone gets put into the chair after only a couple of years as a volunteer with an organisation, I think we know the answer to that. Anyone who's halfway articulate and engaging like yourself are going to find yourself in that position. Aren't they, Ray? Thank you very much.
Now the most important item on the agenda, in the capable hands of Phillipa. Got to pick a raffle ticket.
Yes.
Well,
I won't look. It's fine.
just one, yes please. We've made that mistake before. So on the blue ticket, 272.
yeah, take that.
Blue ticket.
Green. 272
Last one
green.
in, last one in, we reckon, President?
2 weeks.
It's a habit, isn't it?
Yes, to me again.
Yeah. Well, we've got some flowers for your lovely day.
Oh, that she'll be very pleased.
From Christy. So I need
You won't tell her
later
that.
on.
I'll pick them up. Decent present.
Any of the business, any fellow